See, I'm thinking all this, but first let me say, okay, so I don't know if I should or shouldn't go in other words, like, I was warned to not do something as a kid because I didn't like spiders at all. I still don't really 100% like spiders. I've come to try to deal with them and understand which ones are which, and to some degree, and which ones to stay away from and which ones to not want around my area at all. Um, but when I was a kid, I would catch them in plastic containers, and that's it. I would just catch them, and it was very, very fucking. Because it was like, well, if you're trying to fucking hurt me, and a spider to a child is like a big fucking deal to some kids, To some adults, a spider is a big fucking deal, okay? And, my point being is that, because they weave silk, too. That's another, like, important factor of that, alright? Silk. In other words, I've picked up on the fact that what I was warned not to do is create, because that is creating a bad kind of karma, is to trap something inside of a little fucking, and then leave it there. And I was doing that when I was a kid. And that's what they were doing on like a human scale. The right way to do it is to see it's within the fucking, it's within the panic, it's within the fucking animal or being's panic state. And it is a magic type of charm. Like it, because it produces something. But the point being is that they were doing it wrong. The right way to do it would have been, which I've found out, was you're supposed to let it go. Right as it panics, you're supposed to let it go. But you're not just supposed to let it go, you're supposed to feed it. Whatever it is. The smaller the space it's in before you free it, the more, supposedly the more energy it produces. Those Chinese bubbles with the fucking animal in it, you see, what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to let them go. And save the plastic bag. But some people don't want that. They want the opposite. So they let the animal die in the plastic bag. They let the water turn black. You understand? Like I said, they brought in, like, dude, they brought in, like, from what I remember hearing, I mean, honestly, it was like fucking 12 to 20 helicopters, thermal vision, so that they could see through the fucking roofs. The only way that I was able to cope with that is by putting into my head like that it couldn't have been the same place. It couldn't have been the voice that I heard. And because of these scumbag fucking pieces of shit, I have to remember this all over again. With everything else, this affects me. And people are upset and were upset that I brought so much attention to this area. You know, it's like that. It's like, what do you want? To fucking, what do you fucking, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, wow, man. I remember it crumbling almost like paper, like the sound that like old paper would make. The fucking spider that crawled out of the socket. The bitch from the first neighborhood somehow ended up in the fucking house. The apartment behind mine. When I moved in here, I didn't recognize, like, this is fully fucking wannabe block. I want to block this out of my head. I think, and I hope that was not the girl inside the fucking X-Men school who picked up on my presence being there, because they were trying to set me up for that. They were trying to set me up. That's why I was fucking wrapped up in that. Because the guy from the fucking all those years ago, he somehow was the principal of that fucking school. They didn't have the people that walked me in through the electronic door on tape. Somehow they had me walking through an electronically locked door like it was nothing. And I don't know if that was revenge. I don't know. It couldn't have been. It couldn't have been fucking... Maybe it was. I don't know. That's what I'm saying. It's like, I really hope it wasn't the same girl that they were saying it was my wife in that school that fucking picked up on the presence of me being there. When they questioned her, from what I could fucking figure out was that she knew after that there was something wrong with the walls. Because even, like, in other words, she didn't even know herself about the other classroom that was in that school. But she was able to pick up on my presence in the hallway of the school. The camera is dying. That's why this whole thing is fucked up.